everyone. It's another episode of Beachside Banter with B. I'm B. Davis, your host, and I am here with Aisha Makara today, who has traveled to so many different countries, and I'm so excited to hear all about her life's journeys. So, Aisha, go ahead, introduce yourself, tell everybody why you're here and what you stand for.
B, thank you for inviting me for your podcast. I really appreciate it. Well, my story probably started somewhere far away in Mongolia in Central Asia. Probably not so many people even know where this country is.
Oh, I'm excited. That's awesome.
So it's a Central Asia. Mongolia is between Russia and China, and they have a place with Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is also part of their Central Asia. It's also between like China and Russia.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
that's
of
a lot
course
of
the
culture
other
there.
it's a lot of culture. Yes, it's thousands of years of culture, and I believe even Chinese learn something from Mongolians.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
I believe so. I haven't done the full research about that, but I think so.
Right, but
because Mongolia has a lot of
that. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about Mongolia.
Well, in Mongolia, we have rich culture. It's mostly like some part of Mongolia, we believe in shamanism, about like religion, and some part of Mongolia, it's about Buddhism. And some part of Mongolia is about Orthodox or, believing in God, because it was like a Russian influence. And many other, like a little bit of many other religion from influence from China, and it's still like
that makes sense,
influenced by Chinese,
So religion is very important to everybody in Mongolia.
I mean, in the city it's different, right? We have capital, and the city is different because it's been influenced by right now different culture, and like we receiving more tourists, and I'm feeling like it's changed. Mongolian people speak very well English, young Mongolians, because it's already English is from the school, from the early age. And I'm feeling like when you're going a little bit outside of capital, it's different. Because Mongolian, they don't live in the villages or normal setup like we do in West. They live in yurts. And they and yes, and they're still living in the yurts. If you're traveling a little bit outside of the Ulaanbaatar, you learning culture. The funny thing is, it's very good to be open, to try different things, right? Like, this is why we have one life. We get to be open to explore our own comfort zone. I'm feeling like sometimes when I'm traveling
in Jamaica.
No, when I'm traveling, I'm love to try the traditional meal, or their experience the culture. So I love to go somewhere that not typical tourists go. That's kind of my way of exploring and learning, about culture, about traditions. And I've done so many travels in my life, so I feel like it's all about to be open. And I also learn people, it doesn't matter where you go in the world, people love to support you, to help you, to teach you about their culture, to explain about the history. When you're listening and learning from them, why this happened, why, for example, we have a Silky Way, why we had this, why we had that. So when you started to ask questions, you started to receive so many different answers. The thing is just again, it's always come back to the discovery, right? Why we're asking all these questions ourselves as well. Everything is
absolutely
relative, always.
No, I think that's the best part about traveling, though, honestly, in my opinion, is learning. Because I'm very much a cultural immersion person. So I like to go in and take cooking classes and, volunteering and that sort of stuff, and do what I can to kind of I don't know, I feel like I lived there for a week or so, just to kind of dive in and be like, okay, what would it feel like if I lived here? Blah, blah, blah. That's how I travel. And that's how I feel like a lot of my audience is too. So I'm glad that we're having these conversations. Where are you now? Are you, I know you're traveling all the time, right?
Yes. Right now I'm located in Portugal, Lisbon. It's the capital of Portugal.
Okay.
And I love Portugal, and I love their culture. And, I love the peace that's I feel here, the level of peace in my heart.
Oh,
And
good.
for me, it's a beautiful country with beautiful values and beautiful traditions. And I feel like I was asking sometimes, because I was living like in Norway, I was living in other like America, like I was living in different cultures as well. And I was always asking why people the way they are. For example, when I was traveling around states, I remember like Florida, it's completely different. For example, like south of Florida, completely different from the north of Florida.
Yep.
And I've been in like, other states. And I was like, when I was staying there for like a month or 2 months, sometimes like 3 months, so I was asking myself, why it's so different from state to state? What's so different? The way they are so different. And the way the level of happiness or level of joy, it's so different, And for me, like before I was traveling many, many years in a row to America, I love, like traveling, exploring, and talking to the people. I love to speak English, and I remember I love to go to California, for example. Before COVID. Right now I've been in California. Right. After COVID, it's completely different than it was before COVID. But this things is like the way this thing's changing. The way we're right now transforming ourselves. It's always very interesting for me to look at because like I'm probably like nomad by my heart, and for me like to have a base, it's actually very good because before I was thinking, oh, it's not important to have a base, but older I get, like or wiser I get, I'm feeling it's good to have a base. It's good to have a place where you can call home. Before I was thinking it's a Florida, and I discover and I go deeper within myself. And I said, no, it was actually Portugal. And that's where I arrived after my long journey, being depressed a little bit and looking for the new home. And I was feeling like, I don't want to go back to Norway. And, I was feeling like Norway was always so cold and depressing. And it's very good society structure. It's very good social structure. It's amazing for the human being to be successful. That it's very easy to be successful, especially when you have a plan. It's very easy to grow or like to accomplish a plan or to make that plan work. Super easy in Norway. But it's so cold. I'm very dependent on sun.
Oh, I can't do cold weather.
Person, I love sun and I love warm. Mm-hmm. And so I was, I went the first time in Florida, 2012, and since then I was going there every year. And I'm feeling like, oh, Florida, that's where I want to move. But I didn't like so much the culture or like the way people connecting with each other was not the deepness that we have here in Europe. And I was feeling like, I like this party environment or like just kind of chilling vibe. It's very beautiful. Always warm, always nice. And so eventually, of course, I moved to Florida and trying, organize myself there with my art and, like everything that I was doing. And I've been quite successful in, in the field that I was working on. But the thing is, I learned one thing. It's about feeling your heart, like how deep you want to go in your exploration. And I realized the deepness I want to experience in Florida was not enough for me, what I was experiencing, for example, in Portugal. And for me, for example, when I arrived to Portugal, after traveling around Europe and traveling many other places, I did the Camino de Santiago. And I remember when I arrived to Portugal, I was like, wow, this is my home. That was my first feeling I was feeling. And that was, I was feeling like, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing feeling to have. And when I come back right now after being in the United States, traveling again, and, I just decided that it's going to be my base, and now after, traveling and exploring and understanding who I am, the way I am, I feel Lisbon is the place to be for me. I'm not saying like will probably work for everyone, but for me, it works so wonderfully well, and Lisbon is an amazing city, it's an amazing, comfortable airport there that you can travel almost everywhere around the world. It's, it's cheap. Compared to like America and many other like European countries,
it's very cheap compared to America right now.
Yes. It's way better quality of life,
Yeah.
history, culture, everything. I mean, it's just
Wine. There you go. That's where you pulled me in. No, I'm just kidding. It has always been on my list, and I was actually trying to talk my kids. I have a son who's 19, and he's got a close knit group of friends or whatever. I think there's 5 of them total, and they're literally like my other children from other mothers. Like they live here for the most part over the summer, and like we're real close and all that. So I was trying to talk all of them into going. But they ended up going to Amsterdam and Germany. That's where they're at actually right now. So they're really excited about that. But I was like, can we please plan a trip to Portugal next year? Because it is like a dream for me. I've seen amazing pictures. Is the Alcobe? Is that how you say it? That's an I knew I wasn't saying it right. I never pronounce things correctly. Yeah, I've heard that little chunk is like absolutely just like dreamy there. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
well, it's the south of Portugal. It's very beautiful. It's a lot of like, beaches there, and it's like different there, rocks. Like different wind is coming there. It's like Sagres is very beautiful. Lagos is very beautiful. You get to, from my, stories that I will share with you, it will be not the same that you when you're coming and experience yourself. The history, for example, right now we have in that part of the Portugal, we have a lot of people from England, from Germany, who is moving like a full time and living there. We have a lot of like a golf club there, and we have beautiful like a mountains area there as well. I mean, it's beautiful, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
Weather there is warmer than, for example, on the Lisbon side. That's one of it. Where's the Lisbon? Where's the capital? The beaches is very like clean and nice, and like I said, like a fish is very good. Like a seafood is so
Oh, I
good.
bet.
It's like
I
just
bet. Yeah.
level.
There's a lot of surfing there too, isn't there?
Yes, surfing.
Yeah.
But surfing is more like north.
Oh,
Not,
north.
it's also in the south, but not so much. But it's more like on the north. It's a lot of the north.
The big waves are in the north.
Yes.
Yes, right. I can get into the ocean to about my knees, and past that, I'm a little freaked out. So I can't imagine actually trying to do surf. We did what was it? I can't even remember. Rafting.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah. We're like on one of those big things, and they're pulling us around, and like he was trying to knock us off, and I was literally holding on for dear life. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fall. My husband's like we're flipping around in circles. My husband had already dropped off, and he's like, just let go. And I'm like, no, I can't. Finally, I did, and it was like instant panic attack because I'm deathly afraid of sharks. I love the beach more than anything in the world, but I'm deathly afraid of sharks. So that's the only thing I thought when I was in the water. Was like,
I mean, it's not sharks in Portugal.
I've always says that. But there was never a shark in Portugal until you came over.
Yeah, he came over.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about your art. I'm super excited about it. I've seen some of your work, and it's just absolutely amazing.
Thank you. So I started to create, like, before I become like a full-time artist. I created just like hobby. It was like just a hobby because I have my engineering background and I was working as an engineer. But it's always I have very artistic skills. And when I was at school, I was always in the theater. I was always doing newspaper. Like I do all the art of the newspaper. I created like articles for the like a school newspaper and stuff. But I never considered myself like I want to be like actress in some point of my life. I actually went to Los Angeles to try to be an actress. But
not all it's cracked up to be.
No, I mean that's anyway. I have different ideas. Like I just went.
Yeah.
I entered that space, and I'm feeling like, do I want to like in 3 years or 5 years, like taking a lot of like antidepressants, that what the experience I went through for being, just this shiny. Because I don't have, like a rich parents or like, rich uncle or somebody who's like, can take care of me and who can, like protect me. So I get to go through all the experience, and I'm feeling like it's not easy. If that's possible,
right.
If I really want to commit, of course, it's possible to go through this. But since I said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to like hurt my soul to the level, hurt myself, my body, my mental things to the level that I can continue to live, everything will be fine, but I will not feel,
Right.
or I still want to feel thing, So for me, it's like a experience that I realized it's better. I will be actress in life by myself in my own whatever I create than being on the screen, because it's everything it costs. It costs you something, it costs you soul, it costs you your mental stability, it costs you like disconnecting from the reality completely because because of that dream that you have or the idea that you have. And
you lose your privacy and all kinds of things too.
Exactly. But you get to deal with that, in everyday life as well. So it's a lot. And I was feeling like it's very intense, and I decided that I don't want. I had everything to accomplish it, like I had a beautiful body, I have attitude, I have absolutely everything to make to some level. But I said, it's not something I actually want to do in my life right now. Maybe I will change, because to be an actress or like acting, like you can do any time of your life. You can do it in your 40s, you can do it in your 50s, you can do it in your 60s, whatever. It's like no age.
If it's meant to be, it'll be.
Exactly.
It'll find you.
Mm-hmm. So back to my art, so it was like I always like doing this all art in different forms, performing and theater, and like when I get older, it's just become a hobby. I was maybe doing like 3 paintings, 5 paintings a year, just for myself. And these my friends wanted to get it. They just like, helping me, just getting me like all the equipment, all the things, and now we're just creating, and there's no time frame, nothing like that. And eventually when I was living in Portugal, I was depressed. Again, I had I have like waves of, as an artist, I have this wave of, I call it like deep rest, when I get to kind of like chill out, relax.
I totally get
analyze myself, and then reflect. I call it like a reflection of the reality that I'm living in. So I was sitting there, I was doing all this art, and one day I was meditating, and this download was coming to me and say to me that I get to start to do more art. And I started to do more art, and it was like easy to sell. It was like very easy. People love my art. They love like the way I create, and I was not thinking what I'm like, why I'm creating. I just feel it, it just was kind of like channeling. And after one day, I was like, what? I want to do like Art Basel. Why not? So I moved to Florida, and I didn't know that Art Basel actually came from Basel. It's here in Switzerland,
Oh,
but
okay.
Yes, it's in Switzerland. And I discovered when I in Miami, I was thinking Art Basel's in Miami, so I get to be there. I get to move to Miami, become a full-time artist, and kind of like let give myself a chance. And I love it. I started to do like create a lot of art. I started to sell my art. I started to become like a full-time artist, and I started to create the different dreams. I want to send my art to the space. I wanna paint the rocket, like space rocket. I want to art in the space. Why not? I don't know how it's going to be, but I think it's something that would be very cool to do. And so I created like this video, and in 2021, in January, I created the video, and I sent artwork to Elon Musk, asking him to send my art to the space. Jeff Bezos to ask him to support me to do art in the space, and Richard Branson asked him to like paint his rocket, to his space rocket. That was kind of like my idea of just just like sending my artwork to the people that I admire, and just like sharing with them, and like writing the letter, it's not a big deal, But the thing is, they receive it. I was very happy that they receive it. They received the package, they accept the package because it didn't come back. So for me, like every time when I create, maybe I don't sing like people do think, I don't see. I was just writing my diary today. I was saying like, I see the goal. I don't see the problems. I just. And I just go,
I get that. I'm very much that. I'm very much let's dive in. And then I'm like, wait a minute. There's like 7 steps I should have done before I did this. But
Well, that
Whatever.
was my things as well. I'm just like, I'm doing it. And I throw myself, and like, it's like when you like cannot swim and you just, and somebody just throwing you in the water and you like learning how to survive. It's kind of like
Yes.
this way, it's like, oh, you're learning to swim or you're going to die, something like that.
Sink or swim, right?
But in reality, you're not going to die. You just reflect, on your mistakes.
Right.
It's like you didn't achieve that. So eventually, of course, I achieved my dream. I become an art puzzle, and I become in the local area of art puzzle for the local artists. And of course, they started organizing a lot of art events and connected to the NFTs, to crypto, to like many different things like conferences. And I was very funny, like because the artists started to ask me, your art is so unique and so different, and you are showing it and you don't have any like this judging yourself. And I said, well, I'm my own masterpiece. I'm my own masterwork. I'm my own master of my reality. So why I get to judge myself if I'm here to create? I'm already the creator, I always, when I have something in my mind, I just go and do it. It's
Right.
like, it's what I say. I don't have I just see the goal and I just go for it, and maybe some people will say that you're crazy. And yes, you get to be crazy probably in this world to think different.
Tiny bit, but that's all right.
It's all right, right? And I'm just saying, and everyone is looking at me and like, how did you came to this way of creating your art? And I said, just kind of coming natural. I started to, experiment with different media, and I started to do this, I started to do that. And it's like, and they said, can you believe, like, I'm studying all my life art, went to the art school, and I get to every time like a copy and copy and copy and copy. And it took me such a long time to discover my own, way of creating. And you're just doing your own. You're just extending or like growing step by step, year by year. You're creating your own way of creating art, and it's happening naturally. This is what evolution or like evolving, happening natural. You get to just trust the process of growth or like your own development. And I used to say all my life, since I probably started to read, write or read. And like I used to say to everyone, I'm a creator. I can create absolutely anything. I can go and do absolutely anything, whatever I want. If I want to ride the horses, I just go to someone who's riding the horses. And I say, can you ride a horse? Can you teach me how to ride a horse? And they would do that, and that you're a little kid, you're just curious. And you like start to ride horses more and more. And this is what I used to say to the people, you just volunteer your time. If you want to learn something, just find a way to learn about it in practical way. You're not going and study 10 years something. Just going and exploring it that is already there and asking questions that you want to ask. Sometimes they will let you to volunteer. Sometimes they say, no, we cannot accept any volunteers. And, but they still can invite you for the coffee. You can still talk to them, ask some questions, And I'm feeling like, and they give you some books to read, like the books that you get to read or like whatever you get to study a little bit on your own. But the thing is, people don't do that. I was doing it all my life since probably I'm a kid.
Right.
And I just go and ask questions. I just go and experience things. I don't think like about money. My ex was one of my exes. She was like, money doesn't motivate you. Nothing that motivates you. You just motivate yourself for something, and you just go and do it. And like nobody can control you, because if like somebody trying to control you with something, you just like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like and you just go. And I'm feeling like,
I'm giggling because I feel every bit of this to my core. Everything you were saying is 100% me. I'm just like, man, my grandma, when I was a kid, she would always say, where there's a will, there's a way. And that has stuck with me literally since I was probably 3 years old. And every time I'm like, nope, I want to do this. I'm going to make it happen. My husband has been like, nobody can stand in between you and something that you want if you want it bad enough. Because that's what we have, all these tools, these resources, all of this stuff at our hands. All you have to do is just pick up a book and or take a little bit of time or do whatever it is that you need to do in order to make yourself better. So that's kind of how I've always led my life too. Like I always want to be better than I was yesterday. And that is my internal motivation. I agree. Money, I'm going to earn money.
Exactly.
Right.
It's abundance. That's what I used to say to the people. Why you worry about money? Why?
Right.
It's not like
It'll
worry
come.
about anything at all. Like, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're shining, you radiate, and it's like the money. It's coming natural, especially when you want to do something and you're really passionate about that. Somebody will come to you and say, "Here is the money," or whatever. Like it's somebody. Like it's always universe provide, or God always with you, angels and archangels. They're always you to help you to live your best life now. Why? Oh my gosh, wait.
Great.
Exactly.
Love it.
You get to be just clear. It's like a vision board. I said, you just be clear. If your vision board works for you, just do the vision board. What do you want to create? What do you want to achieve? What and universe will give you all these opportunities all the time. You get to be just pay attention what's coming next. What's coming naturally next. In my life right now, it's next is coming like a sailing, and I'm like, because it's one of my dreams. Okay, more sailing is coming into my life. Yes, of course I will do that. Of course it's a little bit uncomfortable because I don't have so much experience in this area. And this is how you do the experience, by doing it step by step. Little step by step. And sometimes maybe you're feeling scared. So this is why you're going and ask for the support. It's normal that when you're living your dream, that's when I call it like when you do this quantum jump to the unknown and trusting to the process. Of course it's scary because you don't see anything that's going to happen. But in the reality, it's just magic. The whole, it's like when you're believing that my life is a fairy tale. And, in the fairy tales, you go like through the darkness to like really understand that you're kind and you're like sunny and you're this amazing human being. So the universe is like it, and after like the amazing things is going to happen because you went through this dark and you really say, yes, that's what I want.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't really take into consideration either is that, it may look all great, but doesn't necessarily mean it is. So comparing yourself to somebody else doesn't necessarily mean that you're any better or worse off than what they are. It just means that you're fighting your own battles that you have to deal with. I mean,
anything is possible. Absolutely anything in this world is possible. I love, I don't know if you know Jacques Fresco. He was this Venus Project. He was an inventor, an amazing human being. He used to say, you get to dream all your life. You get to have many, many, many dreams because you will live so long. Because the universe and everything around wants you to accomplish all your dreams while you're here. That's why you get that. That's why she lived over 100 years. She died when she was 106. But the process is like,
that's amazing.
That's 6. He was using to say like, dream, always move towards your dreams and always live your dreams and create more dreams.
It doesn't matter how old you are either. Like, I mean, I just turned 40 last year. Well, shoot, I'm going to be 41 in a month. But so, and I just started, so I turned 40 a year ago or so, and I just started Life, Love, and Travel. And it was one of those things where it's like, this is probably not going to go anywhere, but I don't really care because at the very least, it'll be something fun. And now, we're up to, I think we've got like 22,000 followers all over all the things. And I know that's not really a lot, but for somebody who is just like, I'm just going to start a page and let my kids show my vacation pictures to people. I feel like it's definitely growing. So it didn't really start out as a huge dream, but now it's like, okay, I've got to make this happen. I've got to make this work. And a lot of people are looking at me like, okay, you're 40 years old. You're basically getting rid of everything you've ever learned your entire career, and you're throwing it all away just so that you can start a travel pod? I don't understand. And I'm like, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make sense to you. It only has to make sense to me. And as long as I can do it and I put my time and my money and my effort into it, I mean, why not? It's like a hobby, but maybe it'll turn into something even better. So that's kind of the way that I have always taken on different, I stopped worrying about what people thought of me, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. After I dug myself out of that black hole, I was just like, why do I even care what others think? I am me. I need to live my life for myself. I need to make myself happy. I obviously need to make my family and everybody else and fulfill those responsibilities as well. But beyond that, I don't have responsibility to the outside world. I don't have to be who they expect me to be. And I think that it is a little difficult, to be that outside person or whatever, and to not let things bug you. But I think once you get to that point is when you hit ultimate happiness and peace, right? I feel like once you finally get to that point where you're just like, you know what, say what you want, let the haters hate, and then once you've realized that they realize that the things that they're saying and the hate and all that stuff that they're spinning on you, it is not bothering you, that's when they stop. They just stop, they don't care anymore because they know they can't get underneath your skin. So that's kind of how I live my life. And I think that a lot of my audience is here too for that same reason. They see this dream, this, the fact that older people are starting to dream, they're starting to achieve their dreams and that sort of thing. And I feel like that's really starting to motivate a lot of people, which I'm all here for it.
I think
I love it.
I really like the way you think, because I think the same way. And I used to say to the people all the time, like, you cannot be liked by everyone. Yeah, it's
exactly.
If someone will, whatever, it's up to them. Everyone is different. I respect that. Everyone is different. Everyone has different needs, different wants, different dreams. And that's great. That's why it's create this beautiful reality that we're living in, And I'm feeling like, about like when I send my art to the space, everyone like, how did you do that? And I said, that was my dream. And I'm like, I'm in right now, it's like 50 years from now, I don't know, like 100 years from now, people will still like look at my name and say, like, oh, Aisha Makara, she sent an art to the space. She's one of the first artists who sent art to the space. So I said to the people, in my theory, I already, accomplished my legacy. I mean, it doesn't matter, but the thing is like, everything is about legacy in this lifetime. What is my legacy? And that's like, I'm the art of service. And I'm just feeling like, just being us, we are already art. We are already masterpiece. And we can create out of our life the masterpiece by creating it, by painting it day by day.
Wow, this has been so, like, you are probably one of the most motivational people that I think I have met in a really long time. So this has been a really great conversation. Like, I feel like it's also renewed a little bit of like excitement for Life, Love, Travel, Beachside Banter with B, all that stuff. Like, I feel like it's kind of, I don't know, you pumped me up a little bit. I love this. That's good.
So much. I want to be with the South speaker one day.
Good, absolutely. I think you need a TED Talk like yesterday. That's all I have to say about that. I think it would be great. Just listening to your voice, your calmness, your thoughts, the way that your outlook on life, all of that is just absolutely amazing. So this has been a really awesome combo. So real quick, I always try to give everybody enough time to like plug their business, what they stand for and all that. So where can they find you in your art and learn more about your SpaceX collaboration? Because I feel like it really is the coolest thing. I love that.
Thank you. You can go to my website, aisha.today, and the information there. And if you want to book the time with me, it's also there. I'm right now working on my other website that's called like joyfulliving.com, where I'm going to put all my like online programs, and it's going to be my book. There you could also order my book, Joyful Living Guidebook.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon.
Guidebook. Love that. Okay.
Yes, it's on Amazon. It's with a different like a life, like I said, it's a guidebook. So it's just guiding you, like thinking through, and with my art. It's like a good table book.
Love that. Okay.
Yes, it's like, you will love it. It's very simple, easy, nice, colorful book that's published right after the experience. That's what I went through in 2022. That was my all this challenging that I get to experience that year, and I created book.
I always end this show with this final question. What does paradise mean to you?
Paradise. Well, I'm really living in the paradise. Yes. Paradise for me was my friends, my family, and and I do what I love.
Oh, I love that. That's such a great answer. I love hearing that. Wow. So thank you so much for being on the show. This was a great conversation. Like I said, it was very motivational for me. I'm hoping that the audience feels the exact same way because I feel like everybody, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can be 99 years old. If you have a dream, get out there, do what you can to pursue it, and just make it happen, man. Nobody else can make anything else. Like, if you want to get something done, you're going to be the one that has to do it. That's all there is to it. You cannot wait on everybody else to make it happen.
The Walt Disney used to say, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Yes. Love that. And where there's a will, there's a way, dang it. My grandma told me that, and I will live that for the rest of my life. Awesome. Thank you so much, Aisha. I really appreciate it. We will definitely keep in touch, and if I'm ever in Portugal, I will be hitting you up. So.
Yes, Joyful Living, namaste. Thank you very much, B. That was great, and thank you for her. Like, we're on the same page. I feel like we're vibing
absolutely
positively, and creating magic around us. That's what matters.
I love finding like-minded people too. I feel like it's kind of hard these days to find people who are as crazy as I am. No offense. I appreciate you, love. I will talk to you soon. Have a great one.
You too.
Bye-bye. Hey there, beach lovers. That's it for today's episode of Beachside Banter with B. I sure hope you had as much fun as I did. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed the show. You can catch me on all social media platforms at Life, Love, and Travel. And if you've got a question or you just want to stop by and say hi, feel free to slide into my DMs and I'll make sure to get those answered for you. Big thanks to everyone who joined me today and for all of you who tuned in. And until next time, enjoy your week.